This is the crack team taking on the mafia, a billionaire, and an army. Shouldn't be a problem.
Wait a second, he's gonna make me feel.
But you said it should be a problem?
Shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, should not.
Yeah, should
Okay,
not.
great.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2025 Amazon Prime action crime thriller Play Dirty. The film is co-written and directed by Shane Black, and it stars Mark Wahlberg, Lakeith Stansfield, Rosa Salazar, Keegan-Michael Kay, Nate Wolff, Gretchen Mol, Thomas Jane and Tony Shalhoub. Okay, the film focuses on Mark Wahlberg's character Parker. He is a professional thief. We see him do a job at the beginning of the film with his own crew, with a new member, Zen, played by Rosa Salazar. At the end of the job, she betrays everybody, kills who she thinks is most of the team, takes the money, and she needs that money to basically set up her own gig. Mark Wahlberg survives, tracks her down, and essentially gets on board with this new heist, of the heist being them robbing a whole country. After this seemingly poor country's just found some of the most desirable buried treasure of all time, and they're going to rob it. He puts his own crew together. They get to work. However, they are up against a crime organization in New York who don't like Parker, a billionaire, and the president of this country, where the treasure belongs. Right, what are my thoughts on Play Dirty? Well, when I saw the trailer for this, I thought it looked entertaining enough, but fairly by the numbers kind of heist movie. But there's something that really got my attention about that trailer. Who wrote and directed this? And it's Shane Black. Now, I believe this film, or this character Parker, is based on a series of books. But Shane Black is, in my opinion, one of the best directors out there with the right material. He has delivered in the last 20 years, I think, 2 masterpieces. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is stunning, a fantastic film. Put Robert Downey Jr. back on the map, arguably. And my personal favourite film, probably of the last decade, it's right up there, is The Nice Guys. With Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe, directed by Shane Black. It is flawless. It's a 10 out of 10. Brilliant, brilliant film. And Shane Black, when he's in control of his movies... Now, when he's not in control of his movies, you get things like The Predator and Iron Man 3. You know, neither of them are bad films, even though I know The Predator doesn't have its fans. But when he is making like big studio movies, and he loses control, you don't get the best of Shane Black. Now, when it's something that he's written and he's in control of, he is generally brilliant at delivering very, very good films, highly entertaining, with some fantastic characters, and with some really fantastic, well-written dialogue. So that's what I was hoping for with this. You know, and this was apparently going to star Robert Downey Jr. because he's one of the producers on this, and he was going to be Parker, the Mark Wahlberg character, but he pulled out. He couldn't. I don't know whether he couldn't do it or chose not to do it. I don't know which. But I suspect he knew what this film was, and it's bang average. Unfortunately, guys, this film. I was so disappointed with this. I was hoping for another Shane Black masterpiece. And what we get is, don't get me wrong, it's perfectly entertaining. It's very competently made. You know, it's got great action sequences, big budget all over the place, explosions, and you know, if you like heist films, you know, there's a lot here that you've seen before, but you know what I mean, if you like that sort of thing. But it is so vanilla compared to what Shane Black, I think, is capable of. It is, when you stand it next to films like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and The Nice Guys, it just dwarfs into non-existence, this film. And I think, I've actually tried to really, really think and analyse why it is. And I think there's just too much going on in this film. He's great at like the buddy cop approach. Nice Guys, it was Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe. Fantastic chemistry. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, it was Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer. Fantastic chemistry. Here, there isn't really that. You don't get that in this film. There's far too many characters. Far too many. No way on earth you can give anybody in this film enough attention to make them memorable or a real big part of the film. They try with Lakeith Stanfield and Mark Wahlberg to get a little bit of that buddy cop thing going. I'm not calling it buddy cop, but you know what I mean. But they're not. Because Lakeith Stanfield doesn't feel a big enough part of the film. There's too many people on Wahlberg's crew. And unfortunately, Mark Wahlberg is not Ryan Gosling. Mark Wahlberg is not Robert Downey Jr. Those guys have got charisma oozing, Downey Jr., Ryan Gosling. They've got brilliant comedy timing, and they've got charisma, charm, and they can turn a character on a page that kind of reads quite vanilla and transform that into something extra on the screen. I'm fairly sure of that, and I think most of you would agree. Mark Wahlberg doesn't have that ability, in my opinion. I don't dislike Mark Wahlberg. I think with the right material, like the other guys, with Will Ferrell, he's brilliant. Ted, brilliant in those films. He's very, very funny in those films. And I have seen some of his like action-y stuff that I don't mind. But when he's trying to pull off like the straight guy, the no BS guy, take me seriously guy, tough guy, and there's no likeness to his character at all, he just comes off as dull as dishwater. And that's what he does in this film. He comes off as dull as dishwater. And he doesn't change his emotions throughout the whole film. He doesn't go on, there's no journey for his character. He's the same at the beginning of the film as he is at the end of the film. There's no in between, and there's no experimentation with the acting, as far as I'm concerned, with Mark Wahlberg. He's just Mark Wahlberg. He's just doing this character. He's just doing it this way, and that's it. And because there's so many other characters in the film, most of them are very, very unmemorable. You need a really, really strong lead to carry this film. That's going to be really memorable and someone you can absolutely root for. And unfortunately, Mark Wahlberg ain't it. So what we get here is, as I've said, really competently made, some good action scenes, a very basic but decent heist movie. But those of you going into this fans of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and The Nice Guys, hoping that we're going to get maybe a trilogy of brilliant crime noir sort of films from him, I think you're going to be very, very disappointed. I was. I was really, really sad. And my first gut reactions to seeing the trailer is really exactly what... The trailer will tell you everything about this film. If you watch the trailer and you think, oh, no, I don't think so, then don't bother. Really don't bother. But if you watch the trailer and think, oh, it looks all right, well, okay. If all right's okay with you, watch it. Because the film is exactly that. It's all right, but it's nothing beyond that as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, it is the first film for 7 years from Shane Black. I think his last one was actually The Nice Guys. Please, Shane Black, please do a sequel to The Nice Guys. Both Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe want to do it. Please, please write it. I'll go and watch it many, many times if you do. But, yeah. This is on Amazon, guys. If you've got Amazon at home, what does it matter? You know, you might watch it and you might even enjoy it more than me, but, you know, it's not going to cost you anything, is it really? So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please click the like button. It's very, very helpful for the channel. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. You'll be very, very welcome here, and I will, of course, see you on the next review.